to commemorate a very special day today, we are celebrating Matthew's 35th birthday. And he came into the world about 8:20 on a Sunday morning, weighing in at a whopping 9 pounds.
9 pounds.
And it was a special day, too, because the Brewers won the pennant.
Brewers won the pennant that year.
And that was the last thing that they did that was really
spectacular, memorable.
Exactly. Yeah. So to commemorate his birthday, I have a new outfit. You know, Kathy Biddorf gave me a cupcake apron.
Right.
And then we celebrated their son's wedding a week ago in San Diego. And our friends decided that I needed some cupcake socks. So I am complete with cupcakes. So we thought we would make a new cupcake recipe, and it's a vegan cupcake.
Okay.
So we're all set to go.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So people sometimes are probably, afraid when they hear vegan or gluten-free, but I did some research and found this recipe online, and this woman said she's been making this recipe for years. Everybody loves it. We made it, and actually was there a request.
And we tasted it too,
yes.
And it's like you can't even tell the difference between a regular cupcake and a vegan cupcake.
Right. So we're going to get going here.
Exactly
so I'm going to just let you use this bowl. So I thought I would just use my 2 quart measuring, 8 cup measuring pitcher. Okay. So then it's easier just to pour it out because it is kind of runny.
Right.
So 1.5 cups of flour. In some recipes, whether it's brownies or cake or different cookies, you put in brown sugar instead of white sugar. So 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of cocoa. Now we're putting all the dry ingredients in first. 1 teaspoon of baking soda and about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, a little bit of baking soda there. So then you're going to mix that all up real well and make 3 wells. And it's not going to be quite as easy to make your wells in this measuring pitcher.
Yeah, it's a little narrower.
But just see what you can do on that. And what makes this vegan, or even, no, it's not gluten-free because we got flour. Yeah. What makes it vegan is that there are no dairy products, eggs, anything like that in this recipe. Okay, so you can make your 3 wells now.
That's going to be a little tough. It's kind of a narrow. Okay, I'm gonna
and just do the best you can. Like you said, does it really matter? I don't know.
Yeah, because you'll see at the end why it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
But I'm not sure why they do it either. But here's a well.
Got a big well there.
You need a big well for that larger amount.
Right. Okay.
This is the large well.
Okay, so we're going to start then by putting 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in there in the first well. Okay, and then
what's the next
1 tablespoon of white vinegar, not apple cider, just white distilled.
White vinegar.
And then usually I don't measure my vanilla, but 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And now you got your nice 3 wells. So we're just gonna pour a whole cup of cold water on top.
Not sure why we had to well it.
I don't know.
Oh well.
We just We'll just follow.
I didn't even think of that before the show. It just came out.
We'll just follow the recipe there, okay?
And I'll just kind of mind my own business and just do what you say.
Exactly.
Should I do that?
Yeah, let's just do that. So just stir it around until you get all of the lumps out, and it's going to almost like bubble a little bit, okay?
Okay. And why
just going to grab this.
From the powder?
Baking soda.
The soda.
Baking soda is helping to bubble it up a little bit. And once you've got that, I don't see the
bubbles, but I think I'm getting the. Is that mixed enough?
Just kind of stir it. Yep. So I'm just going to have you just wipe out or go around with this little thing and just take the chocolate off of your spoon, and then I'm just going to use that then to pour right from my measuring
I think I got a little bit of powder
pitcher there.
Off the spoon.
And I happened to find some cupcake papers that Bread and Brianna shopped for me at Hiller True Value. So for anybody that needs some cupcake papers or Wilton products, they still have their
get out there now.
Their tent sale going on.
End of the season.
So it's kind of cute. They have some little bats on there, so we're all set to go. Okay. So I'm just going to do this.
Okay.
And pour it so that it's about 3/4 full. And it definitely works a lot easier if you're using a measuring pitcher, you know, like
rather
this.
than the mixing bowl we did earlier.
Right. I mean, you can also, you know, have your mixing bowl, and you can use an ice cream scoop if you want to. I often use, you know, the scoop when we're doing other cupcakes. It's a little bit more difficult when you've got one that's just runny. Mm-hmm. First time I made these, I was concerned, you know, are they really going to turn out, and are they as good as what people said? I think what's, you know, kind of fun is when you're,
Oops, that's a little full.
whether you're, you know, looking for a recipe or just looking online to buy something, the reviews come in really handy. And you know, the different people that commented on these said they were the best cupcakes that they had ever tasted.
So we're ready?
So 350 degree oven, preheated, and we're going to bake it for about 21 minutes. About 21 minutes.
So is that like 20?
That'd be about 21 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
We'll call it
All right, so while those are baking, we just happened to have a dozen, and it makes 1 dozen, and this is how they turned out, and I was really pleased with them. Again, the one that was kind of full, you know, turned out like that. So we're just going to get this stuff put away, and now we're going to make our peanut butter frosting. Okay, so one of Matthew's other favorite things to eat, Christmas time, Halloween time, whenever, is peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter cups. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so we're going to make a peanut butter frosting, which is also vegan. And when I tried this one, I had some other peanut butter, you know, frosting in the refrigerator, and I thought it tasted just as good as the vegan. Okay, so let's do this one. So 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. One of the recipes said to use like no salt, but I just used Jif peanut butter, and I think it turned out just great. I've gotten so that I don't really use any kind of generic on my baking because I've had some bad experiences. So Jif or Skippy,
when it comes
you know,
to the peanut butter.
and if you really want to keep it organic, you can use an organic peanut butter. But otherwise, I think this worked just fine.
Okay.
Okay, and then to that, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of coconut oil, and that should be room temperature. Okay, and then so that I don't get my nice new apron all messy, you're going to start just beating that up slowly so you don't splash yourself too.
Right.
Until that's all, you know, mixed in. Okay, now we are going to add to that 2 cups of powdered sugar and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay, and you can continue stirring. A little bit slowly so it doesn't.
Keep the powder off the lens of the camera.
Right, so it doesn't dust all over the place.
Yeah, look at it go.
It does go.
Look at it get dusty. Okay, now turn it up a little.
And then after you get this stirred up, the recipe actually calls for almond milk to use for the liquid.
Really use almond milk.
Right. So what we are going to do is just add some non-dairy frozen whipping cream. Okay.
Right.
So I'm just going to turn this off.
Whipped topping, not whipping cream.
Whipped topping, yes. Excuse me. So it calls for 1/4 cup.
Okay.
So I'm just going to let you just put that whole thing in. Yep, just put that whole thing in there. And when you make frosting, sometimes if it's a little bit too thick, then you can just add a little bit of water, or if you're making a non-vegan frosting, then you can just add, you know, some extra cream to it.
Right.
But so this one, if it's a little bit too thick, then we're going to add just a little bit of water.
Because you want to get it so it can come out of the frosting bag, right?
And then it's going to be about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So you can stir that in.
Okay. It's feeling a little bit thick, so let's get a little water in there.
Because just a little bit. Once you get the rest of the peanut butter. Oh, you didn't have to mix that in. I was going to stir that by hand.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Should I stop yet?
After you get it stirred up.
This looks okay.
Yeah. So then you can just get it in there, and then you don't have to
You have to try to hold it by hand. You just go ahead and fill it like that.
And then since you're the great cupcake decorator.
And the grand poobah of cupcake decorating.
So when we decorate our cupcakes, you just want to make sure that you keep it tight on the top. And I was actually taught to start in the middle and go around, but you can, we do it both ways, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to have them nice, a little bit higher.
A little higher?
A little bit higher. One more little loop there.
How's that?
That's awesome. And that's our vegan cupcake.
There we go.
So, this is to Matthew. And to Alana, because she'll enjoy them too.
She will. We'll probably take these to Omaha.
We will, absolutely. So,
absolutely.
Happy birthday, Matthew. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope you enjoy your vegan cupcakes this weekend. So, from Cooking with Ruth and Gary, until next time, happy cooking.
Uh-oh, this is okay. This cut.
Turn that off.
Well, the good thing is we know this is a G-rated, this is a PG show.
We're not even gonna say what they did on Tommy Boy when he calls him that name. You turn that off, you little.
Oh.
Out. Okay, let me just pour
how we work together.
The rest out here. Yeah.
What about working together?
Gary always has to get so friggin' bossy sometimes.
Wait a minute.
I was doing just fine.
Wait a minute, boss.
I was doing just fine, then you had to horn in on my project here.
This one here could use a little more.
Okay.
You know this is not being cut out. They just said that.
I'm sure. Yeah.